Hi. You're listening to the Corporate Cleanse podcast, where we talk about the pros and cons of corporate life and how I, a former fancy executive, hit full burnout and am now on a journey to explore how we all can maintain our sanity and sense of self, all while climbing the corporate ladder. I hope you enjoy listening along with me and know that everyone needs, occasionally, a corporate cleanse. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Let's check in. Let's check in. How are we doing? How am I doing today? Today was one of those days that I scarcely had time to pee before I had to be out the door. I've got my daughter this week, and so we just have to kind of hustle about. And so right before I started recording, I was like confronting my face. Like, how am I doing? There was one of these like Vogue getting ready with me YouTube videos from the actress. I think she's from New Girl. And that's what she does, like very first step. She's like, okay, confront the face. And that's how I felt. I was like confronting my face. How am I doing? I'm a little dehydrated, but otherwise feeling good. Let's see what else is happening in the world. Yesterday, Qualtrics announced huge layoffs, like almost 800 people. And it just made my heart hurt because I have been through that layoff process. Like you show up to work like any other day. You're unbeknownst to you, all this has been happening. You get a 5-minute Zoom meeting put on your calendar, just like out of the blue from your boss. And immediately, your mind doesn't immediately go to, I'm going to lose my job. I'm going to walk out of here without my job today. But you're like, something's fishy. And then you're kind of slowly processing as somebody tells you that your position has been eliminated. And it's a really hard experience to go through. So again, if any of you were affected by that layoff or have been affected by any of the layoffs this last year, it's rough. Give yourself some grace and some time to just process. Give yourself a little extra love and a little extra patience, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. In one timing or another, it is going to work out. Me getting laid off from Adobe was my first experience with that, and it was so painful, but it ended up working out really, really well and kind of was the catalyst for a lot of the trajectory in my career. Okay, so let's dive in. I'm not going to bury the lead. My little announcement is that I accepted a job. I officially accepted a job offer, and I'm stoked. I really am. It's in the e-commerce world, which, as you know, your girl loves a product. Your girl just loves a product. I love coffee, my razors, my cat litter. They're all part of the e-commerce world, and I love it. And I cannot wait to not have to pretend to care about the industry. I've never been passionate about surveys or dental software or legal software, but e-commerce, yes. I'm stoked. I'm so excited. And my mantra this year has been, everything comes to you at the right time. Like the universe has got you. And even when things feel tough, like that dreaded Tuesday, if you recall, when I got rejected from what seemingly was like all the things, I tried really hard to hang on to that mantra that the universe has got me. The universe is taking care of me. The universe is saving a seat for me. And I got the call about this job from a recruiter like a couple of days after that dreaded Tuesday where I was rejected. The universe is conspiring in my favor. The universe is conspiring in our favor. And I can't tell you how powerful it's been working in my life that mantra, that belief. So I start my job at the end of the month. I live in Utah, and October is like my favorite month, I think. And I think it is. It's my top favorite month. And I'm in full fall cozy mode already. Fall in Utah is kind of a fickle minx. We get like 4 beautiful fall days, and then the weather sort of oscillates between, wow, it's so damn hot, and I brought this jacket with me, and now I have to carry it around all day. And like full winter where you're wearing Birkenstocks, but it's wet and cold, and you're like, well, here I am. So it's a little bit unpredictable. Even right now, I brought a jacket and I'm wearing my Birkenstocks. But I love colder weather. I really do. I am a sweaty gal, and fall and winter they just feel like a hug, like a nice hug. Like, don't worry, sweaty girl. Now you can be cozy. And now your seasonal depression is kind of cute because you're hibernating. Winter makes my weird isolation phases, it rebrands it as hibernating instead of being weird and avoidy. So as I start thinking about my new job and how I want to kind of enter this phase, this new phase of my life, I'm really soaking in this month. I'm nesting hard, and I'm really just trying to soak up everything in my life. I'm trying to soak up my routines, my space, my daughter. I'm really focused on relishing in every moment right now. And I've been hearing so much about romanticizing your life. Like, this is kind of all the content I think I've been served with. Podcast episodes, Instagram, YouTube, about romanticizing your life. Yesterday, I realized that this is why things feel so good for me right now. This year off of work has been the epitome of romanticizing my life. This year has really been life-changing for me because I finally feel 100% awake, 100% present in my life. I feel engaged. And what is so interesting is that it's not because my life has been perfect. It hasn't been everything goes my way. Things have been hard. I've been unemployed, which has been hard as I've kind of worried about money and navigated, what my financial future is going to look like. Things with my family have been really difficult, specifically for my dad. Taking care of ailing parents is such a unique life experience. And not to get like too deep into it, but I'm not super close with my family. We did the hospice thing with my mom a couple years ago. And when we lost my mom, my dad kind of stopped living. He stopped doing the things and kind of lost the skill to live life. And I'm the only person taking care of his finances, moving him into, a community, cleaning out the house, selling the cars, fielding calls from his, huge medical staff. That has been really hard. That has been a singular experience for me. And one that I'm trying really hard to hold with patience and love and kindness for myself. But that has been heavy. The sort of location situation that I have with my ex, I end up spending a ton of time commuting. And that's just kind of soul sucking in general. Things haven't gone perfectly. I've been rejected for jobs. I've been rejected for markets. There's been varying success with selling crocheted bags, varying success with me trying pottery. Like it's definitely been a regular year of ups and downs. But the biggest difference is me. My circumstances haven't changed, but I've changed in my circumstances. I'm steeped in self-love and self-patience. I'm moving slower. I'm more calm and patient. I'm noticing more things that I love, that bring me joy, that make me feel held. I'm actively romanticizing my life, and I'm happy. I really am. And man, I am desperate to hang on to that. I start my job at the end of the month, and I'm having flashbacks of how I was a couple of years ago. Not one part of my life was romanticized. I was in full reactive panic, hustle, cynicism, next thing, next thing. And I want to do everything I can to ensure that I don't slip back into that mode. I found this like fucking golden ticket, and I'm going to hang on to it with the grip that Taylor Swift has on the NFL media coverage. That level of grip. I want to hang on to this mode that I'm in. So the next month, my October, is full of lists, plans, reflection, like on how to keep this happiness, this contentedness, this patience and love for myself. And I want to share with you how I'm thinking about this. I want to share what I'm doing to build romanticizing my life into my routine. And this is so important for me because what I have had this last year is time. I've had time, and I'm about to lose a good chunk of time. So I'm not leaving this up to chance. I'm building it into my life, and I'm building it into my routine. So it's foolproof. Romanticizing your life is so important for me. I'm really intentional about it. And I really feel like it's been the key to unlocking my life. So let's get into how I'm doing this, how I plan to keep this romantic life when I enter the corporate world again, and sort of actionable, clear ways to romanticize your corporate life. So first, the biggest and sometimes the oddest thing I found myself doing is pausing and noticing really yummy moments, yummy things. Let me tell you what I mean. Yesterday, I got coffee at a cute place, and there was this big decal on one of the walls that had a cat spilling a coffee mug, and the coffee spill was in the shape of like a frenzied cat. And I glanced at it, and then I smirked, and then I went back to my own thing. And I took a moment to say, well, no, wait. And I looked at it again, and I like really appreciated it. I was like, it's cute. That kitty was so cute. And the coffee cat, give me a break. Loved it. I loved it. And I took time to love it. I took time to appreciate it. Another thing, I'm driving, like I said, a lot. And oftentimes on my long ass commute, I've been doing a double take at the clouds. And I've just been saying like, wow, how beautiful to myself. I don't think I remember one moment in the last, year of me working where on my commute, I noticed the damn clouds. I was like, I just got to get from here to there. I got to figure out this. Like my mind was elsewhere. And I've had this moment a couple of times on my commute now where I'm like, wow, those clouds, they special. And I'm going to notice. Those are special clouds. Another moment, I was putting on my skincare one morning, and I realized how good it feels to just feel my hands on my face. Like, what a moment of love, of self-love. Just like give yourself a quick little facial massage. Like, take that 2 extra seconds to soak something in. Again, when I was in like full hustle mode, it was just the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Like, how can I just get from point A to point B as fast as I can? And I'm like, it really only takes 2 to 3 seconds to take a double take and soak in a moment. So I'm going to plant some moments for me to soak in. That's the whole goal of this, is to plant moments for me to romanticize my life. So number 1, your space. Think about the space in which you work. Set the tone, set the ambiance. This can apply to those that are working from home, who are hybrid, or who have a full-time in-office gig. But it is such an opportunity for you to curate your space. I have worked in some sort of hybrid work for the past 10 years. And I will tell you, I have never given myself dedicated workspace at home. And I think I've only curated my work desk like once. Like I got a plant for my desk once. At home, I'm at the kitchen counter or I'm on the couch giving myself like lower back pain and like those neck wrinkles, from kind of hunching over your laptop. I'm a nomad in my own damn house. Like I'm just sort of like finding little nooks to work from. I remember during COVID, just to like change things up, I worked from my staircase once because I was like, ooh, new scenery. But I just kind of bounce around to places that are not meant for working. They're not meant for me to do my best work in. And I don't really know why I've never taken the time to make a dedicated workspace. Maybe it's because I never felt like I was worth the investment, maybe. Or that it just it didn't make a huge difference in whether I was productive or not. And that it just didn't matter because I do computer work on a computer and I just type beep, bop, boop. And it doesn't matter where I am. I can do that anywhere. Let me tell you, it does matter. It really matters, your space. So take time to curate your space. And it's such a beautiful way for you to show yourself love, to plant moments to soak in. If you're like me and have never taken time to set up your space, like, let's do it. Let's do it. I want to try and talk about some things that I'm doing. Some require an investment. There are some things that don't cost much, and there are some things that are free because I want this to feel accessible kind of no matter where you're at and where your budget is for a elaborate home office. Your body is precious. And I will tell you, as soon as I turned 35, my body is kind of just doing its best, really. Like post 35, it's doing its best, showing up how it can. And I'm on such a longevity kick right now and wellness kick. I watched Blue Zones on Netflix. And so I've become really aware of what happens to your body when you don't intentionally and actively keep it well. Post 35, it's not something that just happens. Your body isn't just like on the course to wellness and you don't have to do anything. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. You have to intentionally and actively keep it well. So take some time to think about how you're treating your body when you are working. Does your desk chair suck and your lower back hurt? Like invest in a chair that your spine will thank you for with lumbar support. If you're post 30, you need lumbar support. I need lumbar support. I'm going to start bringing like a pillow with me everywhere I go because I need lumbar support. Planes, this chair right now. Maybe Abby, will you make a note that I need to have a lower back lumbar support pillow? Perfect. If you work in office, maybe just see, like email IT, email HR, email your boss and see if there's some budget for you to get a nicer chair. If you're sitting on the couch right now on your laptop, stop it. Stop it. That gremlin posture that you're assuming, it's not great for your back. And those neck wrinkles, woof. Once they're there, they're hard to get rid of. I invested in a Piper Song meditation chair. Not sponsored. I purchased that shit. It was not cheap. But it's one of those chairs for people who have like a little bit of the ADHD so that you can sit in 9 different positions. Weird fact about me, I have proportionately shorter legs to my torso. So I like to keep my legs up instead of just like dangling because I just feel like a little child if my legs are like dangling off of a chair. And so I purchased this chair so that my legs can be up. On another note, with your legs dangling, everyone should get compression socks, okay? So no one wants deep vein thrombosis. Also consider your desk. I, like most people, have grand ambitions to be a standing desk girly. I want to walk on a treadmill and take a call. I want to be dynamic in my workday, like, oh, this meeting I'll be sitting. This meeting, I'll be standing. This meeting, I'll be walking. If you have a long torso like me, chances are you are hunching, my friend. You are hunching when you work. You are getting a little bit of a lump because you are hunching. You need to figure out how to elevate your workspace. So standing desks are pricey, I understand. I got mine secondhand, though I will say, for like a pretty reasonable price. And there's tons of people that are selling standing desks on Marketplace right now. I think because a lot of companies are calling back employees back to the office, so everybody's like selling their shit. But try and find a standing desk. If you don't and can't afford a standing desk, which completely reasonable, ask your employer if it's an investment you can make. I don't know, maybe get a doctor's note. If you have chronic back pain, see if your employer will invest in that. Or even just buy one of those like laptop stands from Amazon. They're like $20, maybe less, maybe like $10 to keep you from hunching. Like, take care of your body. Take care of your body when you're working. I'm finally setting up an office for myself. And a great way to romanticize your life, I'm calling it a studio. Jen's studio. Because it's a mental and emotional reminder for me that it's not just for work. It'll be for work, for sure, but it'll also be for my crafts. And it will also be for reading. And it will also be for whatever the hell I'm into, like the other facets of my life. But like your studio, like how fancy. You wake up in the morning, you go into your studio, like, romantic. Take some time to create your whole space. So think about how you're taking care of your body in your desk, in your chair, and maybe hang some art. Hang some art. I have been trying to find prints from local artists, and I'm also trying to make a piece of art myself. We'll see if I have time to finish that in the next couple of weeks. Chances are no. Chances are not in my favor there. But maybe like, I don't know, frame some old postcards. Does anyone use postcards anymore? I have a weird collection of postcards, but just like find some things that you could frame and hang up. Some cool menus from like your favorite restaurant. Hanging some art is such a great moment for you to soak in. When you're in the height of work stress, like you're just like back-to-back meetings, you're just ending Zoom and then like getting onto another Zoom and smiling, it's nice to look at something that invokes a memory or a moment of appreciation. Do it. Target, I'm finding out, has some really affordable and like pretty good quality frames. IKEA, reasonable frames. I lack commitment, so I'm using 3M strips to hang some art, but it can make a huge difference, especially too if you think about your Zoom background. I don't know what to say when I'm on a Zoom meeting with somebody and their entire background is blank. I'm like, oh, where are you? Where are you? I don't know. I think it just makes you a little bit warmer to have something in the background. So hang a piece of art. Next on my list is to really set the tone. Think about the other senses that you have and curate that space as well. Candles, okay? Nothing calms me more than a candle, a good ass candle, especially one of those crackly ones. It makes me feel cozy. It makes me feel held. It makes me feel fancy. Candles are a great way to romanticize your working hours. Like, oh, it's 8 a.m. Time to start your workday. Light a candle. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Another way I love to use scent is sprays. I bought these 2 aura cleansing sprays while I was in London. I think they're just water and like a couple drops of essential oil and like crystals down on the bottom. But they instantly pull me present. I think that's the biggest thing with scent is like you're immediately in your body. You're immediately in the present moment. I don't know, make your own spray. Find an old spray bottle, fill it with water. Find the friend that got into essential oils that one time. You know, we all have that friend. For sure, we all have that friend. But make your own scent spray. It's such a nice way to kind of change up your day as well. It's just like a couple spritzes before a stressful meeting or after a stressful meeting. Another thing that I've been loving is make a soundtrack for yourself. You are the main character in your own damn life. So you deserve a soundtrack for your corporate 9 to 5. I have loved having some background music. Picture this, okay? Your cortisol level is peak because you just finished a Zoom call and I don't know, you had to figure out something with somebody and it was just normal shit, but you're like, my cortisol levels are high. I'm having an existential crisis. You end the call and you immediately resume your soundtrack and you take a deep breath and you smile because it's your favorite song. Maybe you even take a moment to get up out of your chair and dance for 2 minutes and you're present in your body. You're smiling, serotonin is being released, and you think, wow, the universe has got my back. That's the power of this for me. My favorite soundtracks are, I made a playlist of songs that make me feel like the world is full of possibilities. These songs just make me feel like, I don't know, I want to dance. I feel great. My life is made up. Money is made up anyway. Like, whatever. I might as well just fucking dance and enjoy this song. For me, it is Hard Times by Paramore. I don't know what it is. I love it. I love that song. It just makes me like shed all of the heavy weight of life. And I'm like, this is just fun. That song does that for me. One of my favorite background noises is on YouTube. It's this channel called Autumn Cozy. It's perfect, right? It's perfect. The video is called Rainy Day Coffee Shop Ambiance. And the screen is like a perfect, warm, cozy coffee shop. It's raining outside. There's like light piano music and rain sounds. I don't know. This makes me feel like a pensive author writing poems about life when I'm really sending Slack updates. It's a main character cozy moment. It's wonderful. I also love the Spotify playlist Deep Focus. I play this one when I have to get shit done. Like, this is I'm a very important businesswoman doing important things soundtrack. Like, this is my focus. I got to get this done. I got to finish this proposal. I've got to send this invoice. Like, whatever it is, that's the soundtrack that I play. Now, let's talk about your morning routine. Having a good routine is my favorite way to add stability, structure, and little moments of joy into my life. Let's take a moment to consider the routine of my last job. I fall asleep after like an hour of scrolling or, I don't know, watching ASMR because I can't stop thinking about my to-do list and this meeting or that meeting or this person I have to talk to or this task I have to finish. I wake up to my alarm and I snooze 2 to 3 times because I'm just filled with existential dread. I check my email because I'm a masochist and I just want to relish in self-hate and let those emails fill me with anxiety, even though I'm not going to respond to any of them and solve that anxiety. I just want to know that it's there. It's kind of like, has anyone seen those videos from Ellen DeGeneres? Like, she used to have one of her producers go through a haunted house. And he was so hilarious because he just hates haunted houses. But he would always be like, okay, I see you. Because it would somehow give him like power over them scaring him. Even though he still screamed and it scared him, he was like, I see you. That's how I feel about checking email first thing in the morning. It's like, well, I see you. But it actually doesn't stop them from scaring you, those emails. So maybe just don't look at them until you can address them. Don't look. But I would then scroll on Instagram for like 15 minutes just to completely avoid and escape life. I get up 15 minutes before my meeting starts because I love to procrastinate. I brush my hair. I do the bare minimum of getting ready. Usually this means I'm not even changing out of my nighttime clothes. Like maybe I'm keeping my nighttime bottoms, but I'm changing my top. Like bare minimum is the key phrase here. I jump on a Zoom and the day starts in this mode of just enough, bare minimum. I don't want to be here and I'm not ready for the day. Not great. That is what every day looked like for me. And that was a terrible morning routine and it set me up for a pretty terrible day. So I'm cultivating a morning routine for myself to romanticize my life. So whatever this means for you, morning routine. For me, it means reading to fall asleep, like no checking Slack or email when I wake up, waking up at the same time every day with at least 90 minutes before my first meeting, so that those 90 minutes are just for me and my life, not to prepare for work, not to get ready for a meeting, but just for me to set up my day. I want to take a quick shower. Sometimes that includes a little cold part because like nothing makes me feel ready for the day, like a shower with like a quick cold plunge. Maybe it's taking time to do my skincare and putting on some makeup, putting on some actual clothes that I didn't sleep in. This means going downstairs to make my drinks. Right now I'm really into matcha instead of coffee. So maybe this is a matcha and some water, taking my supplements, my pre and probiotic. And then this is critical. Sit down at your desk with time before your first meeting. Or get to the office with time before your first meeting. If you are a bit of a procrastinator and an avoider like I am, sometimes the first thing that I do, the first thing I turn on is a Zoom meeting. Nay, that is not the way to start your day. And that can be a really great win for you too, of like, okay, I had a meeting at 9, I was up by 7, I had an hour and a half to myself to like do whatever I needed to do to get ready. And then you feel like more in charge of your day. You feel like you have a win, you feel productive, you feel good about yourself, and that changes the way that you show up for the rest of the day. Block time to sit at your desk before your first meeting. This makes me feel like, look at this businesswoman, successful, put together, ready, calm, prepared. If I start the day with a meeting, I'm haggard and I'm unpleasant for the rest of the day. That's been a huge thing for me. Plant little things that bring you joy, like small moments. This is a core tenet of romanticizing your life, is to realize that the small moments are really what matter in life and that they can really add up to a really romantic, happy life if you take time to appreciate them. So maybe this is fresh flowers, like fresh flowers at your desk, in your office. Trader Joe's flowers are like $5. And then you sort of like fuss about, arranging them, cutting their stems. Where are you going to put them in the house? It just feels nice. It's just for you. It's slow. And it's a way to hold yourself, Using fancy ass glasses for your beverages. This one's kind of fun. God knows I love this. They can be some like vintage glasses, or I don't know, go to DI or Goodwill and find some unique, weird glasses. Some people are like drinking their iced coffee out of stemmed wine glasses. But how fun? How fun? Like, you bought those glasses, use them. I love this. I think your life is a damn romantic thing. So why not feel fancy when you can? I bought this glass that's like wider and shorter. It's a little chody. Now that I'm describing it to you, it's like a small bowl for water. And I think I saw this at a restaurant once, I think in Europe, and they served it to me and I was like, water in a bowl? Great, fun. I don't know, it just feels fancy. Buy some fidget toys. I have friends that have a tray of fidget toys at their house for friends. How considerate. How considerate when we're all walking around with various levels of social anxiety. Like, how nice to have a fidget toy while I'm socializing. Same thing. I love fidget toys because I'm a kind of a neurotic person and it helps me channel my nervous energy into something. I should have one right now. Honestly, my energy is off the charts. But I like having something to do with my hands, and it helps me speak slower and appear more calm during Zoom meetings. I bought some slime. I can't believe I did this. It's sitting on my staircase right now because, like, where do you put your slime? If anybody's out there that collects slime, like, where do you put it? Where is the place in your house for your slime? Because is it the linen cabinet? Is it the kitchen? Is it your bathroom? I don't know. But I bought some slime. It's something fun to do with my hands, and I like ASMR, so it's like very ASMR. Maybe it's a cozy blanket, nice pair of slippers, like something for you just to like, this is nice. These small moments. There's a couple things here about small moments that bring you joy, but more importantly, to me, they interrupt autopilot. To romanticize your life, to find joy and happiness, you have to break out of your autopilot. You have to wake up. Plant moments that make you feel awake. Maybe that's lighting a candle. Maybe that's a weird glass for your beverages that makes you kind of do a double take. Maybe it's playing with slime. The most miserable I have ever felt in my life was when I was on autopilot. Not being present. Plant moments in your day to bring you present. You also can romanticize your commute. Okay, like I've said before, I spend a lot of time commuting. I think I've put like 80,000 miles on my car in 3 years, okay? Like I drive the shit out of that car. And it's intense. Like I-15 in Utah is intense. It's like everyone's driving 120 miles an hour. They're like, I don't give a fuck about anybody. And you're just like, I'm just trying to get my daughter to dance. Like, everybody slow down, please. But I've started to save some of my podcasts for my commute. And I've done this for my workouts too, like where I only listen to a certain podcasts when I work out because it makes me excited. I'm like, ooh, I get to listen to the next episode. And it helps me get through my workout or through my commute. Maybe go for a walk. This is one that I need help with. Like, if any of you can just over the next couple of months, just message me and say, hey, Jen, have you gone for a walk? I really want to be a walking gal. I want to go on my hot girl walks. I want to walk. But I'm not typically a big walk person, so I don't know how this is going to go. But like, get some sunshine in your eyes. I have lived in Utah my entire life, and I'm a full desert gal. And I find that I kind of take sunshine for granted. My husband is from Michigan, which doesn't get a ton of sun. And so when there's sun out in Utah, which is like all the time, that's why I think I've taken it for granted. But when there's sun, my husband is like outside immediately. He's outside for as long as the sun is out there, just like soaking it in. He's like, vitamin D, power me. Like, he just loves it. I want to be that way. Sunshine is so important for us as human beings. Find ways to let sunshine shine on your eyes. Like, don't look directly in the sun. That's not what I'm saying. But like, get some sunshine on your face. What a moment it could be when you're walking outside. The sun is shining. Or maybe like when you look out the window and there's like a really beautiful, I don't know, sun flare or something glinting off of the window. What a main character moment in this Hallmark movie of this important business person in a small town, had car trouble and finds a cute little diner. And it's fall and the sun is shining and people are nice. You know, like, what a moment for you. Okay, stretch. Stretch. I'm going to try and stretch every single day. When has stretching not felt euphoric? Stretching, like that first stretch in the morning where it feels so good and because you kind of make a weird noise, but you're like, because it just feels so good. Why don't we stretch more during the day? What a great way to show yourself love. Maybe this is just like raising your arms above your head and letting out a huge sigh, like an audible sigh. Or maybe this is getting out of your chair and doing like a full stretch series, like you're touching your toes, you're doing figure four. Let yourself feel that yumminess. Let yourself feel how good that feels in your body. And it's just for you. If you just stretch, I don't know, it feels special. Just stretch. Next, wear your fancy shit. Because of my money anxiety, I buy a nice pair of shoes and then I never wear them. But then I feel like I still have them and I can't use them because if I use them, then I won't have them. That's kind of how this feels. Like, even though I buy shoes because I know they're supposed to go on my feet and be worn, I'm like, well, then I can't have them. And for some reason, having that nice pair of shoes just sitting in my house, untouched and perfect, I'm like, I have it. I'm like that weird dragon in Lord of the Rings where I'm just like, I have my treasure. I need to use my shit. Stop saving your good stuff for a day that might not ever come. Wear your fancy shoes. Wear that fancy outfit to work. Like, light the fancy candle. I have a Boy Smells herbaceous candle that is the best candle, but I've been like saving it because I'm like, I don't want to use it. Like, why did I buy it? To enjoy it. Wear your stuff. One more thing about romanticizing your corporate life. This one's kind of left field, but chances are your work has some perks. Whatever they are, use them. Maybe it's like a wellness stipend or, I don't know, like swag, or maybe it's snacks. Like, use them. Yeah, free snacks in the office, like, eat them. I remember when I was at Weave, my best friend Courtney was the head of marketing, and people would seriously go to the kitchen and like take a whole pile, like a whole armful of snacks. And so there wouldn't be any snacks by like 11 a.m. And Courtney went to the kitchen once and she was like, you need to put 3 of those back. And I still think about that. I'm like, yeah, because she's trying to spread the joy because snacks are fun. Snacks are nice for everybody. Save some snacks. But like, if your office has snacks, use them. I used to take a packet of tea from Adobe every day on going home. I would just swing through the kitchen and I'd grab a sachet, a little thing, a little pouch of tea. I still have tea from Adobe to this day. It's been years since I've worked at Adobe, but 5 years of tea, I have a lot. And it's the nice tea. It's like the silk pouch. That's nice tea. More general tips for just romanticizing your life or seeking joy in or out of corporate life. Communicate the ways that you feel held. This is a huge one for me. I think I saw on Instagram that was like, your love language is also your toxic trait. My love language is acts of service. I love when people do shit for me. But my toxic trait is practicing hyper independence and not letting anyone help me. If you want to feel held, you have to communicate how you feel held. I did this once for a friend, or with a friend. We were on vacation together, and I was explaining to her how important it is for me to feel held. And that night, she made dinner for me. Like, I just sat in my room and I did nothing, and she made dinner for me. And I cannot tell you how amazing that was. So communicate your needs. Let someone hold you. Let someone make your life romantic. Take time to eat and be focused on just eating. Like, if you're eating your lunch right now and like scrolling on your phone, put it down. Just eat. Spend some time. Savor each bite. I've said this one before, but when you experience a magical moment, out loud moan. Like, not a Meg Ryan moan, but like just like a It's so nice. It's so nice for you to signal to your body that you're doing something nice. And it helps you recognize how many moments like that you have in a day. And have a gratitude list of things that you love. I have things. Let's actually bring some of mine up. Let's see here. It's on my Notion, and it's called Things I Love, and I break it down by month. Let's see what I liked in January of 2022. Oh, these are good. They're mostly food. Fresh butter croissants. Nothing better. My cozy mega fleece sweater from Aritzia. I wore that, no joke, 6 days out of 7 that winter. Rugs underneath my feet. Embracing more cozy in my life. Oh my God, full circle moment. The book Little Weirds by Jenny Slate. My Paula's Choice retinol. And coconut water. Those are all the things that I loved that month that were really wonderful and brought me a lot of joy. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a typo. This was January 2023, just to make things ultra accurate. So for me, I think this new era of life is so precious and so important. And I do genuinely think that you can have your corporate job, work a 9 to 5, be really invested in your company and your job and your role and your team, but still cultivate a beautiful life for yourself. And I think most of that is romanticizing your life. Let's be honest, most of my days are pretty repeatable. Like there's a pretty repeatable structure, so they become a little monotonous. I can easily slip into autopilot. Anything that I can do to interrupt autopilot, anything I can do to bring me present has directly increased my life satisfaction, directly increased the frequency of me smiling at something that brought me joy, like that weird cat decal, directly increased the things I'm grateful for, directly increased my overall life satisfaction and fulfillment. Romanticizing your life does not mean you have to not struggle with mental health. Romanticizing your life does not mean that your life is easy. Romanticizing your life does not mean being delusional about the shit that all of our lives are filled with. Romanticizing your life means that you are taking more time to soak in the good stuff than you are taking time to soak in the bad stuff. I listened to an episode about this. It's called Prologues by Mary Skinner, and I loved this. She said, there are more things in life than we allow ourselves to think about. There are more good things in life than we allow ourselves to think about. I love that because it really just means focus. It's not necessarily that more good things are happening in my life today than they were a year ago, but I'm taking more time for the good stuff. In your corporate life, which can feel like the ultimate autopilot, a crazy, stressful autopilot, find ways to force yourself to pause, force yourself to slow down, and allow yourself those double takes of the things that catch your eye and you're like, wow, that's really beautiful. Take a second to soak it in. And that's it. I wish and hope for all of you a really romantic winter season as you practice some of these. Tell me how it goes. Wish me Godspeed on my new work journey. And I'll see you all next time.